everyone, welcome back to another collective moon update. We are having a full moon today in the sign of Cancer. Happy New Year, happy 2026. This is our first full moon of the year. I hope you're all doing well, feeling good, having a strong start. Whether that means you're up and about, making plans, taking action, or if you're just taking it real easy, taking it slow, prioritizing rest. Whatever the energy, whatever the vibe, I'm wishing you all a prosperous, healthy new year. I'm actually super excited to get into today's message. I can't wait to see what Spirit wants to tell us, what messages they want to impart to us as the first message of this year. But yeah, this Cancer energy. So Cancer, it represents home, which I think is perfect right now, right? Because, moving out of all of like the hustle and bustle of the holiday season, I'm pretty sure it's like a really busy time for a lot of people, or it could be a really hard time too, or very fast paced, like very stressful. And so I think this moon is representative of like coming down from that, and just like coming back home and trying to calm your energy and like bring your energy back to yourself and start focusing on the year ahead and like falling back into your routines and just finding that like level of normalcy again. And in order for us to like successfully do that, we have to first like have a soft landing, like fall back into safety and comfort and stability to kind of calm the energy down, you know what I mean? Like bring everything back to balance, smooth everything out. Whether these are things that you have to do on an external level or internally, it's that sense of coming back to center, restabilizing. So yeah, Cancer, like key words are like home and safety and comfort, recalibrating the energy in whatever way you need to so that you can align back to those things first and foremost before you can do anything else, So with all of that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into pulling the spread. You guys could take this moment to take deep in and out breaths, center your energy, calm your energy down so that you can be receptive to the messages that come through here today and be discerning to know which messages are for you and which maybe are not for you. So while you guys go ahead and settle your energy, come back to center and invite in stillness and presence, I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling the spread. Okay, so I've gone ahead and pulled out the oracle cards for the spread, and then I'm going to go in with tarot in a little bit. Let's just check out the gist of the message here that's coming through. So I think the main message that I'm seeing here is Spirit really wanting us to reflect on maybe this past year, or not only the past year, just in the past, the things that have made us feel not great or not safe or unproductive in some way, things that have been unproductive that maybe we are really like implementing in our lives, or like allowing in our lives out of habit or whatever it is, but that it's not really doing anything for us, like it's not really serving us in any way. It's only causing harm or keeping us like misaligned to peace and truth and happiness. They really want us to like master like being a human here in the world, in this 3D reality, in Earth School, but not being consumed by it. Like understanding like, yes, we're here, right? There are things that we do have to like maintain and upkeep, keep in order to keep things afloat, but it shouldn't like be the end of you, is what I'm hearing. Like it shouldn't be like, it shouldn't consume you to the point where you're always stressed or anxious or worried or fearful or always feeling like rushed or like out of control in some way. All of these things, these are the misalignments that they want us to try to like right, like correct. And of course, life can be hard, you know what I mean? But the point is to be able to like manage it in a way that, again, like despite the difficulties, despite the hardships, like you can still stay very present and grounded, and you can remember like what's true and what's important. You can remember the things to prioritize that are going to help you to live a life that is very aligned, that is going to help you to maintain your peace despite the things that are out of your control. It's how you handle it. It's like how you manage it, how you hold it. And they just want us to reflect on ways that we could like go about doing that. And the main way that they're telling me is self-love, is like loving yourself enough. Because when we're just like busy, go, trying to keep things like in control, in order, at the expense of like ourselves, our peace, like we just stress ourselves out, or we don't give ourselves like enough time to like recover, to replenish, downtime. We don't like feed ourselves properly, or have practices, that it's going to help us to like maintain peace and stillness and calmness, to stay present in the moment. When you're implementing those types of things, that's like a self-love that you have. It means like you're trying to help yourself to like manage everything. You're not abandoning your responsibilities, you're just helping yourself to show up to those responsibilities in a way that's going to be like effective and efficient, and not just in terms of like everything's in order and I'm getting things done, but in a way that is also like sustaining for you, where it's like you're doing what you have to do, but you're also like, you're okay, you know what I mean? You're okay too. You're not like killing yourself here. It doesn't have to be like so hard all of the time. Of course, like I said, like there are going to be hardships, things are going to be difficult, it's going to feel like an uphill battle, but it's like even despite that, like even despite those conditions, is being able to surrender to the moment, surrender to like, okay, this is hard, this is difficult, this is the part of the process that I'm in, this is the phase that I'm in, but I'm gonna be able to do this. Like if this is what's presenting, it's because I'm strong enough to meet it, and I'm going to do what I have to do to support myself to get through this as best I can. And I'm going to have faith, that I can do it, that I'm capable, that there will be hard moments, but I'm going to know how to overcome, how to rise above, and how to maintain, my peace and presence, and how to be intentional and stay as aligned as possible through all of this, while things, realign themselves and eventually, get smoother and just a little more effortless and easy, because as we know, change is the only constant. And when you're finding yourself in a difficult situation, like the one thing that is for sure is that this too shall pass. It's never going to be permanent. It's never going to be forever. So yeah, the message here is just like learning how to be in this world, like how to navigate this world, how to maintain your responsibilities, your duties, how to be, reliable and keep everything in control, but while also keeping yourself in control, your inner world, staying calm and centered and present, surrendered, so that you can just like do the best that you can. You can do what it is that you have to do without like causing yourself to get sick, because like your stress levels, your cortisol levels are through the roof, and you're, creating a breeding ground for disease and illness. It's like, how can we manage life, manage Earth School, go through our journey, our process, and stay like level, take the middle ground. I'm hearing like stay neutral, take the middle grounds. Like we don't ever want to be on either extreme of things. I think the goal is always to like that middle path, take that middle path. They want us to be able to like master that and reflect on that. And what does that look like for you? What does the middle path look like for you? What does being neutral look like for you? Because that middle path, I think, like that neutrality, that is representative of, harmony and balance and alignment. And that's what they want us to master, to learn how to do. They don't want us to be so resistant, you know what I mean? Like so resistant to like the conditions, like the human condition, or like the realities of living in this world, of being a human in this 3D reality. And you know, like the hardships, like everything, the things that are gonna be hard, you know, they don't want that to consume us. They don't want that to break us to a perceived point of beyond repair, because I don't think it's ever to a point of beyond repair. Like for you to be at that point, for your soul to be somewhere where it's beyond repair, like I think you have to have made a lot of bad decisions and be like a very evil, disturbed soul. But for the most part, I really think that it's never too late. You know, like if you're ever feeling like you're beyond repair, it's perceived. It's not what's real. Like you can always turn it around. You can always like heal your nervous system and train yourself how to respond differently. Change your perspective around it, your mentality around it, your beliefs around it, and understand that it's like it's all an alchemy, you know? We don't always understand all of the complexities and like all of the layers and everything that's playing a role, but it's just having like this knowingness that everything is playing a role. There are causes, there are effects, it's all interacting, and these interactions cause changes, you know, whether they are like destructive changes or changes that are blooming things, opening things up. And I think that's the part of like being present that matters. You know, it's like that's why it's important to be present, because it's like you have to notice like your direction. Like, are you going up? Are you growing up? Or are you like going down? You know what I mean? Are you spiraling down? Like that you can gauge like, okay, what's working, what's not, so that you can realign, right? So that you can recalibrate. That's how we can attain, you know, like growth, progress, progression. There's a way to do it. Like there's a way to align to that, to manifest that, you know, to create that. But you have to be very present, very aware, very intentional, and you have to choose it. We have free will, and you have to choose to move in that direction. So yeah, this message is just highlighting like choosing that, you know, like how to choose that, because they're saying you deserve it. Like they're saying you're one of God's children, and you deserve to find peace. You deserve to find happiness, you know? They don't want to see you suffering, but it's like you have free will. So they're always ready. They're always there to support. But you also have to do like your part. So I'm gonna start pulling some tarot to see if there are any additional messages that we can get for this moon update, this full moon in Cancer, the first full moon of the year. They want you to be like so self-efficient. You know what I mean? Like they don't want you to be so dependent on your circumstances or like what's happening outside of you. They don't want that to have such a big influence on your internal state. They want you to have such a strong like core center that you can't get shaken, you know? Despite what's happening around you, it's like there's something you rely on within yourself, like a strength, a stability within yourself. And that's where like that peace comes from. Even if like on the outside things are not so peaceful, it's like surrendering to like whatever's happening. Like, okay, things are not easy, they're not so peaceful, you know, so that you can navigate it with presence and discernment and go through whatever it is you're being called to go through with like a level of like stability. You know, it's like this peace, this inner peace that like no one can touch. Like they want you to be able to cultivate that within. They don't want it to be so dependent. They don't want that to be so dependent on like outside forces, you know? They want you to prioritize this. They're saying like this is what's most important, is, you know, you prioritizing like this peace, harmony, balance, this middle path, this neutrality. Like they're saying you need to prioritize it. As long as you see the importance in it and you prioritize it, that's a really good place to be, because whenever we're going through hardships and stuff, or things are all crazy, chaotic, misaligned, like you might not be prioritizing harmony and balance. You know, you could be prioritizing something else. And so that's why then like your peace and like your inner world, your emotional state is like what takes a beating. It's what gets affected because it's like you're prioritizing something else. Whatever it is, like whether it's like you're prioritizing work or money or material possessions, things, attaining these things, or prioritizing like being in control, prioritizing wanting to be a rescuer, or letting yourself like be consumed, you know, staying in like this victim mentality. Or some people can prioritize, you know, being the bad guy, like wanting to dominate over others, which falls into like control. But yeah, like you have to prioritize peace and love and harmony, and that's going to inform the choices you make and like how you move. And that's ultimately what's going to help you to move away from anything that's unaligned, to be able to see like that there's no movement there is no flow. It's just causing like harm, instability, chaos. And a lot of this stems from, you know, how we were raised, how we were affected, the things that we adapted to, like whatever we were subjected to, you know, how we needed to survive, like the behaviors or the beliefs that formed when we were just trying to survive a difficult situation. Like think of like childhood. What needs perhaps weren't met, you know, and then what did that teach you? How did that affect you? What behaviors did that like bring out of you that at the time you believed you had to implement, you know, as a means of survival? So that was you like adapting to your environment, to, you know, the circumstances, the conditions. And then that's how we like have these ingrained beliefs or habits, patterns, behaviors, coping mechanisms, because we just adapted to what the situation was. So in whatever way your needs were not being met, you had to adapt. And then that created certain patterns of behavior, or again, beliefs, ideas, worldviews. And today, these things that once helped you to survive, to get through, you know, it's no longer doing that. Like it's no longer has that same effect. Now it's just harming you. Now it's maladaptive because it's keeping you like stuck and misaligned in some way, stuck to something that's bad and unhealthy that you need to let go of. And these are like the internal things, you know, that we need to look at, that we need to reflect on, that we need to learn how to like meet ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we need to be able to learn how to meet those needs that we did not get when we were children. It's like you have to go, that's like that inner child healing, going back to your inner child and reparenting that inner child and building that security where it wasn't built before. And that's why, you know, that could be like the culprit, the cause of a lot of like your issues, of a lot of the misalignments in your life. And yeah, so they are definitely highlighting like a need to go do that inner work, that inner child healing, to go there, which is very Cancer energy, you know, like go to your childhood, to, you know, family of origin, like how you were raised, because that's like the core, that's the foundation, and that's where you want to go. If you want to like make lasting changes, you have to go and fix something there. So they're definitely highlighting that here. Because until you do that work, like I feel like it's gonna be really hard. Like you're not gonna be able to surrender. You are going to like fight for the wrong things, or stand for the wrong things, or try to persevere and be strong for the wrong things. An example that comes to mind is imagine someone, you know, fighting so hard over something that isn't like doing anything for them. I'm thinking of a very like specific situation where it was really cold. Like it was very cold. It was like in the 40s, like low 40s, let's say like 41 degrees or something. And there was a person that just did not want to put on like any warm clothes. Like they were wearing shorts and like a short sleeve shirt, and they're just like trying to power through, like prove that they're so strong, that they don't need warm clothes, that they're so tough and macho that they could be out in that cold and be like unbothered and unfazed. And it's like, why? You know what I mean? Even if it's true, like even if you can do that and you're not gonna get sick, it's like, why? It's clearly cold. Like it's cold. Just love yourself enough and put on a jacket. if it means that it could prevent you from like getting sick later on. So it's like fighting so hard, or like trying to prove yourself so much, or staying strong and persevering for something that's so dumb. If you put that same energy into something productive, imagine how far you can go. All that's showing, like, you think that's showing strength and I'm so tough or whatever, and like that's just showing the total opposite. That's showing like that you need that validation in order to believe that about yourself, instead of like knowing that about yourself. Remember, like having that strong internal core of like, I know who I am. Me putting on a jacket is not gonna like mess with my manhood, or like mess with my like masculinity. I'm putting on a jacket because I love myself, I care about myself, and I care about my health, I care about my well-being, and I'm not trying to get sick. So if there's any way that I can prevent that from happening, I'm gonna take the precautions. So yeah, it's just like being strong for the right things. I feel like this inner child work, is going to help us to like be strong towards the right things instead of the wrong things. I hope that was a good example. I hope that made sense. That's the first thing that came to mind. It could be anything. It could be like, any standing up for anything that's bad, like trying to defend anything that's bad, or stick to, or persevere. But it's like, it's harmful. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be more discerning. Like, why waste all of that energy when it's not serving you? It's not doing anything for you. It's not helping you to align anything. You're just moving further and further away from alignment. And it's like that discernment of, am I moving further away from alignment, or am I moving closer to it? Remember, am I going like up, or am I going down? And what are you choosing? What are you clinging to? What are you like standing by, standing up for? And I feel like a big key to like see, like, so you can see where you're oriented, is it lies like in inner child healing. It's a wounded inner child that keeps you like in bad situations, or keeps you like reacting in negative ways and harmful ways, destructive ways, having harmful coping mechanisms, or harmful beliefs. But yeah, emotional healing, something about emotional healing. So like inner child work and emotional healing. So being able to feel your emotions, and not to think that emotions are like weak, not to think that being vulnerable is weak. Surrender to your emotions, feel your emotions, let yourself feel them. Love yourself enough to accept whatever it is that you're feeling, so that you can see like, what are those emotions telling you? Like, what information is it giving you? So you can go about working through those in a way that's going to be healthy, or like working on wherever it's coming from, like wherever those emotions are stemming from. It's pointing to something, it's showing you something, it's giving you information. And if alignment needs to happen there, realignment needs to happen there, it's like it's guiding you, to where maybe you need to go and like make readjustments to realign things. So yeah, you guys, that was today's message. I think it was very on point for this Cancerian full moon that we're having, but they are encouraging you to withdraw, to take time out, to be alone, to be still, to be very reflective, to love yourself, to care about yourself enough. This is all because you love yourself. We do this work because we love ourselves, because we know that we want to work through whatever obstacles, whatever blocks are in the way of us finding peace and joy and, true happiness. We know that we deserve that, and we want to get ourselves there. You know what I mean? We don't want to fight against our own well-being. We want to fight for it. We want to stand up for ourselves, love ourselves enough to do what it is that we have to do. So this is a call to withdraw, take a step back, find stillness, peace, quiet, reflect, and yeah, shadow work. Shadow work, seeing like where you are self-destructing, so you can like release those things and do something different, go in a different direction, disrupt the pattern, disrupt that wiring that keeps you there. Change needs to happen. Okay, you guys, so that was today's message. I truly hope this message has served you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I do personal readings, so if you'd like to dive deeper into your specific situation or if you have any specific questions, I would love to work with you. I'll leave my email in the description box below so that you can contact me if you are interested. Take good care of yourselves, and I hope to see you around here again very soon. Bye.